Dear audience, welcome to this special interaction program organized by Himalaya Television, and it's me Rohan Shrestha. And in this special moment, we are going to focus on the current political status of Nepal and India's view on it, plus Indo-Nepal relationship as well. And for this, to talk about this, we have got our guest, Mr. Sudhindra Bhaduri. And talking about Mr. Bhaduri, he is the General Secretary of SAFPI, South Asian Forum for People's Initiative. Let me welcome him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Himalaya Television.
Thank you.
Similarly, I would also like to welcome our media friends. Welcome, media friends. Shall we start our discussion?
Yes, most certainly.
So, from last 1 week, you are here in the Nepal, in Kathmandu. So, how is your trip?
Well, visiting Nepal has been always very pleasant for us, for different reasons. One is, of course, the environment of Nepal is very soothing. We are just on the foothills of the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And secondly, we have a lot of friends with whom we share common concerns for both India and Nepal.
So, what is your major agenda to visit Nepal at this we are in the political transition phase, and what is your agenda at this current visit?
Well, we had come here on a seminar which was to discuss the people's movement which was recently there in India, the Anna Hazare movement, which is known now all over the world, a peaceful democratic movement which forced the government to recognize the people's voice. So we had come on that, but we used this opportunity also to meet different leaders of the political parties, the government, and also people from the civil society.
Whom did you meet with?
Well, to start with, we met Mr. Baburam Bhattarai, the Prime Minister of Nepal. We met Mr. Prachanda, the President of the Maoist Party. We met the leaders of the Nepali Congress starting from Mr. Deoba, Mr. Prakash Man Singh, Bimlendra Nidhi, and Sushil Koirala, of course, senior most person now and President of the Nepali Congress.
So, what did you focus on those visits, those meetings?
Well, I have only one concern, and the people of India are also feeling concerned that there was a lot of hope when Girja Prasad Koirala and Shri Prachanda signed the accord to complete the peace process and also to make a new democratic state. Now, that agenda, one person, unfortunately, we do not have with us.
Yeah.
But however, there was such an overwhelming response in the entire country of Nepal for peace and for democracy, and we feel that this is now a very important moment in the history of Nepal, and more particularly the Constituent Assembly or Parliament, as you may call it. Now, little time is left, so therefore on this moment they will all get together and complete the unfulfilled agenda and the dreams of the people of Nepal.
You just said that you had a meeting with Dr. Baburam Bhattarai as well, the Prime Minister of Nepal. So the newly formed government is led by Dr. Bhattarai, and we heard that he was your JNU he was your classmate in the JNU. So can you please recall those moments, those memorable moments?
Well, we were not in the same class, but we were at the same time in the university, Jawaharlal Nehru University.
Yeah.
And I still remember Baburam Bhattarai ji as a very bright student, and he was always concerned about the social and economic life of the people of Nepal during those times as well. And he has been quite active subsequently thereafter in Nepal, and he has also been engaged with a dialogue with the Indian people and Indian political leadership, which is sharing a common concern for this region. So therefore I can remember him and even his wife, whom he married there only in, yes,
yeah.
He married, and how Swami Agnivesh performed the puja and all at that time, and it was a small affair, but I can feel that they are both going to contribute immensely.
They performed the ritual activities as well at that moment.
Yeah, I was not present at that time, but of course we were aware that they are getting married.
So, do you think, what is your analysis on Nepalese political situation? Do you think that Nepalese politicians or the Nepalese politics is going towards the positive direction? Is it taking the shape? Well,
in the last few days that we have spent here, we have been engaged in discussions with them, and they seem to be concerned. I also read the newspapers here. They are saying that they have to complete the peace process. They have to adopt the new constitution, which they are in the process of discussing and making. So I think if they do this, then they shall definitely do a lot of service to the people of Nepal.
I think our media person friends are also willing to put some questions, some queries to you. I open the ground to our media person.
So, I'm Sanjay Gimre from the Rajdhani National Daily. It's nice to have you here. There seems to be some differences between the major political parties on the crucial aspects of the peace process and the constitution drafting process. Did you also try to facilitate between the parties in some way, by providing some kind of support?
Well, I think they are both political parties with different ideological backgrounds. So certainly there are going to be differences. There are even differences within their own parties, which we have been following through the press. But the important point is that while signing the accord, these issues must have been quite well discussed. And now we have reached a point where differences should be narrowed down. Well, differences can be sorted out. They can engage themselves. They are already engaged in a discussion for almost over 3.5 years, 4 years almost, I think now. Now in this process, they must narrow down, and I think whatever differences have been there, these differences need to be put behind and they need to move forward. And if they do not, you see, the history will judge them. And I'm quite sure the entire people in Nepal are waiting very eagerly, looking forward very eagerly. I think there is a point where both should walk a few steps. The forces in the government, the people in the opposition, if they come together, their differences can be resolved. We recently had such a huge movement in India. There was a lot of difference between the people in the parliament and the people outside the parliament. The maturity is that the parliamentarians engage themselves with these people, the government, the opposition and the people, they all got together and found a solution. Similarly, I think they need to, I'm quite sure they are mature leaders with a lot of background of the struggle, statesmanship, and also they have been in important positions. There have been prime ministers from all political parties. At least the three major parties have had few prime ministers. They should sink all their differences, get together and fulfill the dreams of the people of Nepal.
So the main punch of yours is there will be the conflict, but you have to go together to solve it.
Well, I think I cannot advise them, but I can certainly hope and I can look forward, because they are people with a lot of backing of the people of Nepal, and I'm quite sure they are, and I've known them as very matured statesmen. They will certainly not let this historic opportunity go off their hands.
So right now, if we see the political scenario of Nepal, two giants, let's say literally, the UML and the Nepali Congress, they are in the opposition, and Madhesi Morcha, the Madhesi Front, and Maoist, they are leading the government. So in this situation, when two giants are in the opposition, can you analyze that Nepal will take the desired goal? Nepal will go for the desired goal. Nepal will meet the desired goal at the given time frame?
Well, you see, as per the news that I have seen just today.
Since you had the meeting as well, so what can you get the analysis from those meetings?
Well,
can we Nepali be sure that we will get the desired goal within those time frame?
Well, such specific answers to such specific questions can be answered by the leaders of the different political parties and the people in the government. But as far as we are concerned, how we have observed this is that the UML, Nepali Congress, as you have said, the Maoist and the Madhesis. Now, these vertically, if you divide them, unless they get together, they cannot have the peace process and the constitution making. And therefore, in order to have the peace process, constitution making, they will have to come together. I think the Madhesis have for a long time been out of the power structures of Nepal, and they need to be given a fair share in the system. And I am also going through the media reports that they are trying to evolve a constitution which was going to be some kind of a federal system. So therefore, all sections of the people of Nepal are looking forward towards these four major political formations, the Maoists, the Nepali Congress, the UML, and the Madhesis. And they have to, I think, get together and not let the people down of.
Tankapanta, Nepal Samachar Patra, National Daily newspaper. Question: is it coincidentally or well planned that you are in Kathmandu immediately after taking their chair by Dr. Bhattai?
No, it's a matter of coincidence that Baburam Bhattarai ji is the Prime Minister of Nepal. I was basically here to discuss the people's movement in India, the Anna Hazare movement, which the Gandhi Foundation of Nepal had organized in Kathmandu. And while I am here, and I have known him for so long, it was gracious enough for him to grant audience and to have a meeting with me. So I would not say that this was some kind of a planned visit. It was planned for something else, but this has also gone through very smoothly. So therefore, I think we should see all this in the light of certain coincidences rather than a planned, some kind of a desired planned move.